Without further ado, let's just go. We're coming in hot with Ryan Leslie, Sportsnet Flames, my good and longtime friend, the pride of Owen Sound, Ontario.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it.
Great to be with you, Roddy.
I get you and Bobby Orr mixed up, right?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Perry Sound.
Very similar.
Owen Sound. Is there any other sounds in Ontario that are as famous as those two communities?
No, I don't think so.
They're the big ones. Eh?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then neither are big. It's great to be with you. How are you?
It's great to see you. I'm loving the Calgary summer. Could be a little warmer, though.
Terrible. But you've really adopted this town, haven't you?
They've adopted me.
It's a two-way street. Because I see you everywhere now.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. That's what I've always done. I should mention we are broadcasting live on Game Plus Television across all 10 provinces and 31 states and live on YouTube. Ryan, as you know, you and I have been friends a long time. It was no small thing to overcome the angst between me and this city.
Yeah, this is astonishing to me. I can't believe they've embraced you, for starters. That's shocking. And I can't believe how you've sort of adopted it, made it your own. It's hard to put into words just how this relationship has really come together after a lot of hatred.
I know.
Two ways.
Well, all I can say is I'm grateful. You should try it.
We're not sure if we are, but welcome.
But you know what? The thing is, I don't need to go any further because the viewers know this, but I did go to college here, and I know that it is hockey number one, right? So before I go any further, all weekend. How was your Canada Day long weekend?
Quiet for me. The weather stunk. My daughters ditched me. It was a quiet one, but it was good. How about you?
We probably should have got together because I was on my own too. And I went out to the Rockies. You do that all the time. I was always envious of your Instagram, and I'm like, I want some of that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a great area to get out. And I've got a dog, so that's what gets us out there all the time. But it's awesome.
It's a little similar to where I come from, where the Saskatchewan Roughriders are number one all day, every day. And I feel like it's not all Flames, but every day it's Flames.
Yeah.
Right?
And with good reason.
Yeah, every day it's Flames. Maybe not all day, but certainly every day. And Stampeders on game day, which we'll cover a little later on. They open week 5 at Edmonton on Thursday night, and I had a nice lady in the mall on Saturday tell me that I need more Stamps coverage on the podcast. Jayla's her name. But Johnny Gaudreau.
Oh.
People, it took
didn't expect
3 minutes.
Didn't expect that to come up.
3 minutes it took.
This
city
just shocked me with this one.
Fraught with anxiety over will he or won't he. Does anybody know where he's going to go?
I would think John knows. John and John's family, at least if they haven't come to a decision, they're probably pretty close because we're getting late in the evening here, to quote Paul Simon, but it's getting down to it, isn't it? And I think everybody is understandably a little nervous and a little hand-wringing, and I get it. And I would imagine the front of that list would have to be the Flames management. These are challenging times right now for the Calgary Flames brass and what comes next, and they sit and they wait.
But they've made their offer. Like, I watch your coverage, man.
Yeah.
They've made their offer. Mm-hmm. They've said, Johnny, we want you.
Oh, yeah, and they have the ability to go longer than anybody else. They have the ability to pay him more. And I know a lot of people publicly in our business have said this is not just a financial decision. This is about a life decision. He and his wife, Meredith, are expecting a baby. We all know how close this family is. And, this is a big decision in any person's professional and personal life. So, I'm a little, uncertain about how this is going to go. But I understand all sides of it, that's for sure. And fans have a right to, and it's understandable that they're nervous because we're so late in this game. And the Flames have made a very good pitch. Will it be enough to compensate those other things? I know the family is completely in love with this city, its fan base, the way they've been treated, the way John's been treated, and his wife, and everybody associated with the family. So there's no bad blood here, Roddy. This will come down to where is the best fit for him personally and professionally.
Well, there's no bad blood now, but here's my point. Do you not think that the Flames could sell it this way? And we'll get on to the other NHL teams in a minute, but if he leaves, I didn't want to be here. Don't blame us. We did all we could do. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and I don't think that's not necessarily wrong either.
Yeah.
I think that's, they did make him a substantial offer. Could this have been done sooner? That's maybe where, there's a little gray area. You don't like to leave these things, and you'd like to learn from this no matter what, because they have other players that they do not want to have walk for nothing in the future. So there's been some substantial, players that have walked out the door, but it's all been a part of, and you got to keep that in context too. There's real context to all of this. It's not just blanket, this person, Gio left, or Brody left, or, what are you doing with Shaman? There's context to all of it. But with this one, whatever happens, because now it is in the hand of the player, and whatever does happen here, you better make sure that you learn from it and make sure that in the future you don't have any assets potentially walk away for nothing. And I don't know how this is going to shake down. I have a feeling that this might be it. But again, Bradshaw Living has a way of making things happen. So we'll see how it all shakes down. It's just really dramatic, really fascinating.
Yeah.
With the draft here, I know you had John Liu on earlier. The draft in Montreal. Tree likes to make a splash at the draft. So what happens with John staying? What happens if he goes? And what will the trickle-down effect mean for players like Matthew Tkachuk and company?
We're broadcasting on Game Plus Television. It's available all across Alberta on TELUS Optic TV. I know that you have that as your cable carrier, Ryan, and BC as well on TELUS. Yeah, buddy. But just the drama out of this.
I don't have cable.
I don't have cable cord cutter, but I can say this. I put on Twitter this morning, the front cover of the Calgary Sun, for those that don't know. What's it going to be, Johnny? That's what I'm saying. Everybody's onto this. And I said on Twitter, I hope he stays. And some guy wrote in and he goes, I do too, and I'm an Oilers fan. Could Gaudreau have been better in the playoffs? Let's be honest.
He was pretty good, but I think every player could look at themselves. The one player I thought was probably the one player who you'd say probably was their best was Michael Backlund. I mean, that guy came to play. There were moments with other players where you saw maybe they're going to take a step, but no, I mean, that was a disappointing exit to your biggest rival. And could John and others have been better? They'd be the first to tell you. It's not me saying they should have been better, and I'm looking for a headline or a snippet here to put on the Twitter. No, they'll all tell you they could be better, or they would have won.
Right.
Only one team wins. Every team is sitting there going, we could have been better.
By the way, so we'll just switch gears here. And Tim Hunter was in that chair last week saying the future is very bright for the Flames, and there's no doubt about that. They're a good team. But I want to move on to a couple other teams. Our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, they have dealerships all across the prairies, Winnipeg, Regina, Edmonton, Calgary. Is the Rick Bowness hiring a good one for the Winnipeg Jets? Now, the very last that I saw on Twitter, 64% of respondents saying, no, this is not a good hire for the Winnipeg Jets. And Ryan, our viewers are saying, how would you like to be Rick Bowness knowing they want Barry Trotz? Wanted. And I said, well, this happens all the time. That won't bother Rick Bowness.
I'm willing to give it a little history there, too. So
right. Yeah, but not necessarily a good one.
No, but you know what? This is a coach who, was just in Dallas. You think about all those great advantages of being down in Dallas, from climate, state tax. You've got some players that are up and coming. I think they're probably, they've obviously got some tough contracts that they've got to sort out as well. But for him to step back and go, okay, I think I'm done, and then to go into that situation that is the Winnipeg Jets, where to me it's just a little uncertain. Who's leaving? What are we doing with Wheeler? Is Pierre-Luc Dubois gone? I mean, they've got real question marks there, and Paul Maurice didn't get it going. I'm not so sure I'm worried about Rick Bowness and the job he's going to do. He's a good coach and a good man. He'll be good in that community. I'm more concerned about what the GM's going to do with the pieces. So I would temper that anger right now, or at least directing it at Rick Bowness. That's a good coach over there. Do they want Barry Trotz? Heck yeah, there's another good man, another good coach, Stanley Cup champion coach. But to me, the focus should be on what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, it's your guy Lou. It's 1111 Mountain, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know if you're into that sort of thing.
Good people.
close.
The Angels are close, Les. We're on the right track. Lou.
I think it's just the one-arm bandit
The
over there.
Lou on this show called that Barry Trotz wasn't going to coach at all.
Yeah.
That guy knows his stuff, Lou. Hey? Very connected. Good people. Do you want to launch into a Lou?
Good people. Yeah, guy knows his stuff. Yeah, U15 softball. Nowhere that I'd rather be. And I mean nowhere.
Really? Okay.
Beautiful.
He called the Trotz thing.
Yeah.
And just for a second on the bonus, this is what I think the Jets fans see. He was there in the late 80s. Track record wasn't good. Whose was? Goes to Ottawa, first ever coach they ever had. They finished last place every year he was there. Remember those expansion rules, Ryan? You and I are about the same age. Nobody could have coached that team to anything more than what they were.
Tough years.
And then about 1,000 games as an assistant in between Phoenix, Tampa, Islanders, and then to Dallas as the head coach, and he did some good things. I
Yeah,
like
he
to
did.
think he's learned,
Oh,
too.
you ever deal with him on the,
I've been around him. I've never dealt with him like you have.
class?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Just class. So
That helps.
Winnipeg was treated to Paul Maurice, who I thought handled the media and anybody in and around that team. There's a couple of coaches, whether or not, they're the right guys or you believe in their philosophies or what have you. John Cooper and Paul Maurice, I always walk out of their press availabilities either entertained or informed. And you can't always say that. Sometimes you walk out just like, oh my gosh, what is this? We got nothing. And it's painful. Maybe you're insulted. I don't know. Maybe the coach looks down at you, whatever it is. But those two coaches, you always walk out of there informed or entertained. I put Rick Bowness in there as well.
It's funny because you're on the same crew as Kelly Rudy, and who doesn't love Rudes? And he said on a broadcast one night, you probably think I'm joking when I say I watch every night. I have a lot of time to myself, Ryan. I watch every night. And Rudy was referring to some coach, and I don't remember who it was, but he goes, what a great guy. He doesn't waste our time. He's so informative in his interviews. A lot of other coaches could take a lesson.
It's
and
true.
I'm like,
It's
I
true.
don't remember who he was talking, or do you have any idea who he's referring to? I've got an idea.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple that you could, probably look at and say that. But it's a two-way street. It's not like the media just arrived in this game. It's not like some of these coaches haven't benefited from the media. It's not like we don't understand the role of the media. I understand it's incredibly frustrating at times. I understand that we're going to get it wrong, and I understand that sometimes there's some damage by getting it wrong, for sure. But let's not act like we don't know that this is a part of the game. And you know what? You get more bees with honey a lot of the time, too.
And we've got a job to do. You've got a job to do. Can we please meet in the middle?
If you want respect, give it.
Give it. Yeah, exactly. So now, furthermore, Elliot Friedman
Heard of him.
on your network saying, I watched that this morning while I was working out. He's saying that the Oilers have an interest in Jack Campbell. And he's got a very important message he needs to return, so I'll repeat this when after he does. The Oilers have an interest in Jack Campbell. And I was like, Elliot Friedman isn't usually wrong.
Not splashing that around without any substance.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's
I
not
just throw this against
willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Mike Smith, let's be honest, out goaltended Jacob Markstrom in round 2. You got him under contract. I know Koskinen's gone, you need a backup, but what are they doing?
Well, they don't have any certainty, to my knowledge, with the Mike Smith situation yet. So kicking tires is what you do. Remember, the name of the game is management, and you got to asset management, and that's what they're trying to do. So I don't necessarily blame. And remember, Elliot's saying that because he's had a conversation with somebody.
With somebody, sure.
And he's not going to be irresponsible and throw that out there. So there's obviously a conversation. But do we mean that that's going to happen? I don't think that's what Elliot's saying. So I think, if the Leafs are, open to it, or rather the Oilers are kicking tires, they've got to figure out their goaltending at some point. Don't they?
Well,
this just makes sense.
I've been wrong once or twice, maybe, in my life.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And Ken Holland, they went to the Final Four, so clearly he knows what he's doing. I didn't think it looked like he knew what he was doing last year. Made the coaching change, it worked. Went with Mike Smith, it worked. Signed Evander Kane, it worked. So I'm not going to question Ken Holland anymore.
Fair.
But you got a spot there, you got Stuart Skinner, you got some younger goalies. It just seems like their goaltending is set. Mike Smith is under contract.
You think the goaltending in Edmonton is set?
Wait, if Mike Smith comes back, At some point, you need to bring along these young guys that you drafted.
I think at some point you got to go get a number one. That's
Isn't that Mike Smith?
No. Did you said you got a lot of time to yourself. You know the roller coaster that was Mike
Final
Smith.
Four, dude.
Oh, for sure. I'm not so certain you're hanging that Final Four ribbon on Mike Smith, however. You know, they did have other players, Rod.
They said, this is our number one guy. We're happy with our goaltending.
But you know how they got to the Final Four.
I watched,
Yeah, it wasn't Mike Smith. No. I see where you're going with he was outplaying Markstrom. Gun to your head, who are you taking? Markstrom or Mike Smith?
Jacob Markstrom.
Okay. So.
But they don't have Jacob Markstrom.
No, they don't. But they don't know if they have Mike Smith either. And if he does return at 41?
40. It will be 41, yeah.
Yeah. Do you still feel as though you've got a number one? Are you still hearkening back to Final Four? I don't think so. I think you have to. There's a big gap between, a number one goaltender at Edmonton, bringing the young guys along, and whether or not Mike Smith is a part of any of it. And I think it's only wise and prudent to kick tires on a true number one goalie. If that's Jack Campbell, I don't know. But I think if you're the Edmonton Oilers, you maybe feel good that you got to the Final Four with that goalie, but that's not guaranteed with him going forward.
I agree with you,
yeah,
for sure. How excited are you to get to Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' here this week at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino?
Can't wait. Want to thank our good friend Tammy Truman of Truman Insurance, who has extended the invite. She's just a pillar in the community here. She brought me to my first Stamps game of the season as well earlier, so she's aces.
This year?
Yeah. I went against Edmonton. Saw that one. Please don't go too deep on it. I didn't see a ton of it, but it was a lot of fun, as it always is. Chance to see some people, watch the game. I guess Nick Lewis retired. Is this
a while back?
Is this breaking
yes.
news? I didn't see him. And no Kenyon Rambo. But other than that, it was awesome. And going to come down to Cody Snyder's Bull Bustin' on Friday. Can't wait.
It's funny, actually. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here. I think the only night that has tickets left is Friday. And it's just a ramp up to the Calgary Stampede. Listen, you missed the start of the show. I was getting a haircut yesterday, and I was sitting in it was in the Chinook Center, and I said to the guy cutting my hair, where's all these accents coming from? Everybody that came in there was not speaking English or had a distinct European accent. And I'm like, what's this? He goes, Stampede? The world is here.
Oh, yeah.
It's a first for me, buddy.
Come on.
Everybody says that, yes. I've always been working in the CFL in the summertime. I've never been able to do Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, it is nuts, Rod. I don't know where to point you first. Maybe I think just the rodeo is where you got to be. You got to check that out. I mean, just fantastic. The Chucks are great. I mean, just cruising around the city. It's electric. I had some folks from Nova Scotia in town last night, and we were just talking about they've never been, and they're going to check it out. And I'm like, these guys are kids in the candy store, right? Couple of good times in the Maritimes, coming out to the old rodeo, are you? And
you spent some time out there.
Yeah, it's awesome too. But this city's on fire here coming up, and hopefully this crap weather is behind us, and we move forward with some sunshine, and we'll kick it off with that event. Cody Snyder's on Friday, so that's a great way to get going.
And then Kevin Costner, the parade marshal for the Calgary Stampede parade on Saturday for the first time.
Rips.
People are already talking about that.
Oh yeah, there's a buzz. There's a real buzz. So, of Yellowstone fame, and I once played basketball with him at the Eau Claire YMCA back in the day.
Stop.
Filming a movie here. Yeah, we won.
With Rip?
No, with Costner.
He's a big guy, eh?
Costner?
6'3".
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was good. He loved it. He was always there. He was shooting a movie around here, so that was fun. The parade gets going. Trying to think if there's there's some great acts, some great tunes this year, great concerts.
You're a big music guy, aren't you?
I'm a big music guy, and I'm going to go see this, and I don't know if you get into him, but Zach Bryan is coming, and this guy is deadly. If you haven't had a chance to listen to him, get on it. Kind of a fascinating story, his personal story. So military.
Country?
Yeah, military, but kind of country, kind of rock, kind of folk. A little bit of folk's probably not a good word to use with the kids today, but it's really good. A lot of acoustic, a lot of powerful tunes, and I'm going to get his story wrong a little bit, but as I was told to me, this guy was a guy in the military, and I think he started doing music, started writing songs, playing, and I believe, as it was told to me, they honorably discharged him so he could go and pursue this. So this guy's dangerously good. He is really good. So anyhow, there's my plug for Zach Bryan.
I heard the games,
Cowboys,
games of chance, all that stuff, and
The
downtown.
Cowboys has got a bunch of places, a bunch of great acts this year. So, and you know, that's kind of the epicenter of the madness. Is right
Good.
in there.
Well, thank you for that, because nobody had told me that. You're a vet.
If you're looking to get crazy, which
I'm not.
you're not, but if you are,
There was a time.
oh,
You saw those days.
we've got time.
Oh, yeah,
Let's hear about
right.
it.
I turned Ryan's mic down. Yeah. Ryan Leslie, Sportsnet Flames with us. As if he's going to talk about hometown hockey being canceled and why they did it. Right. That was your decision, wasn't it?
I had nothing to do with that one.
Oh, I thought it was
Normally I'm
crossed your desk.
making a lot of decisions over there. That wasn't one of them. No.
He doesn't know. They're all going on about Mike Smith.
Yeah. Am I getting ripped?
No.
Okay.
No. My cousin Christine in Medicine says, I don't trust Mike Smith. Oh, trust me, I get it.
Hey, Smitty can be all world. All world. And then sometimes it's just like any other goaltending. It's a bit of a rodeo. Speaking of Stampede.
Randy from Winnipeg, why did Barry Trotz do 3 interviews with teams and then decide not to coach at all? If I may, for the same reason a dog licks his nuts. Because he can.
How about that?
We're going to take a break. When we come back,
John in Winnipeg, a coach is only as good as the players he has on the ice. Go, Jets, go. Do you go along with that? Or can a really good coach make a bad team win? It's a fascinating conversation.
I think so. I think in the NHL you can.
What would be an example in your mind?
Well, okay. They're a good team. But coming into the year, the Calgary Flames' expectations were low. Darryl Sutter made this team a lot more accountable, made this team a lot more disciplined, hardworking, fitter. A good coach can have a real impact. Whether or not it's sustainable with whatever that coach's, measurements are and whatever they try to do, that's another one. But Bob Hartley turns teams around that weren't great. Look at, I don't know, I guess I just look at even 04, 6-seeded team for Calgary, just to keep it local.
Yeah.
There's a great example. He got squeezed everything out of him. I think in the NHL, coaches have that impact and that ability. A fresh voice. Backup goaltender can kind of come in and get guys going as well.
Yeah.
Good coaches and the way they communicate and relate with players, and to say nothing of their structure, I think that's essential now.
Sounds a little like you're with me on the bonus thing with the Jets. I'm at least willing to give it a chance. Let's give it a chance.
That to me isn't an issue. The coaching in Winnipeg isn't the issue.
Yeah.
It's who's going to be around. Who's going to have the coach? They got pieces there. But Paul Maurice couldn't figure it out.
And he's a good coach.
And he's a good coach.
Yeah.
And then, are you going to lose some key pieces? Okay, to me, this is not a coaching thing whatsoever. They got a good coach. They've got good players. But who's sticking around? What's the direction?
Going back to that Flames thing for a second, and the reason I do is because you're here, Flames television host, and Hockey Night in Canada. How does it feel to be the host of Hockey Night in Canada? You just smiled as I said it, so I kind of know the answer.
Well,
of course.
Yeah, I mean, it was what we all wanted to do.
Right.
I'm just sorry I don't get to wear the powder blue jacket, that's all.
They're hard to find from what I
Right.
understand. They're not around very much.
But I got to tell.
Yeah, but having been here, and I was tracking it today. This is our 14th week starting today at Grade.
Wow.
We're going back
Congratulations.
to late January.
Congratulations.
You. Well, thank you, but
You and all
thanks-
your crew.
Thanks to them and
Darren.
Moose, who's here. But as the Flames went down the stretch, and one thing you said on this show is that the Flames, there was a concern of clinching too early and having meaningless games. Remember saying that on the show? And I'm just, from what I heard on the talk radio and I overheard in coffee shops and stuff, was that Darryl was wearing out his top 4 defensemen. He was wearing them out. He wasn't using enough of a rotation
Coffee
of his lineup.
shops is your
Yeah, I'm
source?
just saying it's what I heard.
Oh,
It's what
well.
people were saying. You should maybe get out of your house and listen to some people in the
want
coffee
clarity
shops.
on the inside.
I want to hear what people are saying.
Well, Darryl loves those coffee shops and the people on the street. He says they know. The real fans know, Darryl says. The people, when he walks, it takes him 2 hours to go from Eau Claire down to the Calgary
Can
Tower.
you stop being that guy?
What
Because
guy?
I heard, Lou, the fly in the ointment, the fish swimming upstream.
What do you mean?
That's my role. The antagonist.
I'm not trying to... I'm telling you, the coach
You're saying,
says,
you listen to people in the coffee shop? It's a hockey town,
I just wanted
man.
clarity that you...
They know.
That's what I'm saying. You and the coach are on the same page. Come at me, brah.
Can I get the question out?
Yeah, let's try.
So Lou, your boy Lou,
Is there a question in here?
I'm getting there. You're not used to being the guest. You're always the host. You're not used to it.
I'm also used to being entertained. Can we get that going?
I'm trying. What a buzzkill, this guy. So we're talking about the criticism of Sutter playing Markstrom too much. You heard that.
Of course.
Criticism.
Coffee shops.
And Lou was like, you said for years we don't have a goalie. And now we're playing him too much. Stop. But I guess my point is, how come in the playoffs I didn't hear any of that talk of this guy's worn out, they were played too much down the stretch. I was gone when they lost to the Oilers. I was in Florida. What was the narrative as to how this happened?
Yeah, I would say my colleague Eric Francis wondered about that aloud, about the too many games from the get-go in the playoffs.
He probably got it out of the coffee shop talk, I would
Probably.
think.
That's where you get your stuff. And I think, for him, or for Markstrom rather, I don't know if that's where I'm pointing, although it would make sense. I just think he wasn't himself. So the logical connect the dots is, okay, he played too much coming down the stretch. Maybe. He wouldn't ever admit that to you.
Because they want to play every game.
Yeah, they want to play every game. That was a lot of games. But Darryl does that. Darryl gets the most out of those goaltenders. Look throughout his career.
Quick.
He does that.
Yeah.
Kepper.
Belfour, back to the Chicago days, to be honest with you, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
So,
What's he saying, Moose? Did they play Markstrom too much? The gentleman that just talked to you. Yeah. And the refs? The refs. See, there's that. Did you guys think of blaming the refs? Because that's what I used to do all the time with the football team. When you can't blame your crappy team, blame the refs because they can't speak up for themselves.
I'm not blaming anybody in this. I think you just ran into a team that outplayed you.
And was determined?
They outplayed you.
Yeah.
You tip your cap. I don't know as though Calgary ever got to their game in that series. They never did feel as though they played the way they wanted to. Even when they won that circus that was the Game 1, they just didn't really play their game in the series. You kept waiting for it to happen. Now, full marks. Sometimes your opponent doesn't let you.
It's sucky when they try to.
Yeah.
The opposition.
Yeah.
Right?
Who saw that coming?
Funny how that happened.
No, and weren't we all saying, guys, like this was Connor McDavid all world. This was we were watching something brilliant, to say nothing of what Draisaitl did. Oh my God. And to play with pain. Everybody's playing with pain. He played with pain and got it done. You just look at what it was. Forget about the emblem on the front of the jersey for a moment. I know you're a big Oiler guy. That, I don't know what. No? You're not?
Vegas Golden Knights, long suffering.
This week.
Yeah.
Who is it next?
I was born and bred an Oiler fan, yes.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
So they got the job done. And those two players, and Evander Kane, I can't even just say the two.
Do you have a vote on the heart?
No.
Who would you have voted for?
I don't get into that.
Come on!
I don't get into that. No.
Okay. Ryan in Toronto says, this is great. More banter with Ryan and Rod, please. From Danny Noonan. Great show, Rod.
It is a great show. You're doing great things. I love it.
It's because of people like you. Thank you.
We said off air, this is about relationships, and you've fostered these over the years to be where you are here physically in this building and to where you're down in Florida and the guests you have. It's wonderful. And I'm not even trying to pump your tires because we'll go at it one another, but it's
Life is
good.
great.
I give you full
full
marks.
Our friendship, too. We'll let you go. Let's do it again soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll see you Friday at the Cody Snyder Bull Bustin'.
I'll be here.
You'll be here.
Thanks, Les.
Okay.
Ryan Leslie, Sportsnet Flame.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.